Hi, I'm Shari Arison, and this is The Path to Enlightenment and Inner Peace. And today we're with Nissim Amon. Hi.
Hi, Shari.
Welcome.
Great to be here.
I'm happy you're here. Before we start on the spirituality, why don't you tell us about yourself in general?
I'm turning 57.
Okay.
Born in Jerusalem. And at the age of 24, I've joined a Zen monastery.
Okay. Oh, so you started young.
And since then, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Exploring and searching and developing healing and meditation.
Well, let's go back when you were 24.
Yes.
Where did you join?
South Korea.
Okay.
A Zen monastery.
How did you get there?
I think before that, it was because my army service was too intense in Lebanon.
Okay.
And I've seen death and fear too much.
Okay.
And after that, I had some questions about life.
Okay.
And I left to the East and I found out about Buddhism.
But to the East, I mean, there's many places in the East. Why did you get to South Korea, you said, right?
Yes. I've studied Buddhism in university.
Okay. Here in Israel?
Yes, in Jerusalem.
Okay.
But after 1 year, I realized that university, you learn about Buddhism, and I wanted to go inside.
Okay.
So there are different schools and different sects, and the Zen school is sharp and deep.
Okay.
And I knew this is, and I was lucky enough.
So you say you studied Buddhism, and that was in a university or in a monastery?
Yes. I started university
here, but then when you went to...
And then I went to a monastery. I shaved my head, and I joined a full-on hard training.
Wow.
And I was lucky enough to participate in the most difficult, harsh training.
How many years were you in that monastery?
7 years. I was coming and going in different monasteries as well. And the trainings was 90 days at a time, sitting in silence, facing the wall.
Oh, wow.
So to see, and the question I was given was, I was asking myself continuously like a mantra, who is the host of my mind? So
that was the question for 90 days?
For 4 years, but yes.
For 4 years.
I was continuously cultivating this question, who is the host of my mind? Until giving the right answer.
Wow. That, first of all, it takes a lot of courage to make such a switch. And also, how did you find, were there people from around the world there?
At that time, we were 9 foreign monks in Korea, women as well.
Okay.
And I was the first Israeli there. So the training, and this is what is important, the teaching was 2 things. You are not your mind, and don't trust your mind. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there must be a split between me, the host of my mind, me, the one who is listening, hearing my thoughts and feeling my feelings, and don't trust your mind.
But it's not only our mind, it's also our emotions.
Yes. Mind is half head and half heart. Okay. Mind and me.
Okay. And so from there, where did you go after you were in the monastery?
After I graduated, at some point they wanted to send me to lead in a Zen center in Berlin.
Okay.
But I was not ready to lead in Berlin. I went to India.
Okay. You say graduated. That means you become what?
There's examinations and levels. At that time, I was a Dharma teacher.
Okay.
Later on, I was studying in Japan. And 15 years later, I received the highest degree, the Zen Master diploma.
Okay.
Which means I can teach authentic Zen.
Okay. And that's what you do today, is you teach Zen.
Not only because not many people are interested in Zen. People have mostly issues that bother them. and Zen doesn't bother them. They have health, relationships, worries, stress, depression. They're grinding their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about Zen Buddhism. They want to sleep better and breathe and enjoy life. So most of the work is not about Zen. It is about people.
And how to make your life better, actually.
Yes.
So let's go back a minute. You said you were in Japan. How long were you in Japan?
Coming and going for many years. My teacher there, Zen Master Gudo Wafu Nishijima, he invited me to stay with him. And his door was open to me. And my love to him was the greatest. I told him before he died that he's more a father to me than my own father. So I was lucky to have a teacher.
And then you said you were in India as well.
I was curious about Osho's work. And I went to his ashram, and they liked me. They wanted me to teach Zen in the ashram in Pune. And in exchange, I was invited free of charge to participate in the workshops and things I have seen there. I have never seen anywhere else, and I was in awe.
How long were you there?
1 year I was teaching there, but I understood that Zen is not enough. Meditation and only sitting tight Zen, not enough. There are emotional issues that people need to solve. Otherwise, it will hinder their progress.
I totally agree. So that's where you actually thought that you need to make a shift and help people with their...
I must combine the meditation, but not only the head. The heart is... I've seen people crying, bashing pillows until they bleed for anger and rage they were holding in. And this inner steam release, this emotional cleansing, makes room for inner peace and love and light.
I totally agree, but it's also an ongoing process. In other words, you can go to a class or a teacher and learn and grow and cleanse, but there's always more to do.
Yes.
How do you see that?
There are the basic traumas that you need to solve, to digest, to face. And after you've done that, then the rest is like cleaning the dishes in the sink.
Exactly. But you still need to clean the dishes in the sink.
Yes.
So, yes. Okay, so after all of those travels and studying and growing spiritually, you opened a school?
I came to Tel Aviv.
Okay.
And it was new at that time, almost 30 years ago. Meditation was new. And I brought also this work of emotional release. And
to here to Israel?
Yes. I was the first to bring blindfolders, and all the group cover their eyes. For example, dance with your eyes closed. People never danced before, not to impress somebody, just dance with yourself. And then allow yourself to cry and hug. So, and then meditate.
Is this certain kind of, because I also started many years ago, and, with Essence of Life as well, and the whole concept that peace begins within me. So we had many different kinds of meditations and kinds of experiences on how to reach inner peace. How would you describe the meditation that you teach? Because there's many different kinds of meditation.
Yes. But I would like to look at it from a different way.
Okay.
There are 3 different parts, within us. So this would be the head, the heart, and me.
Mm-hmm.
Freud called them ego, superego, and id.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different meditations to each one of them. But meditation is a remedy. But first we need to understand what is the problem. Because if people will not understand the problem, they will not take the medicine. So I think this is even more important, to understand the inner split and the bad relationship and the bad dream that people live in humanity altogether. So it's okay if I talk about this for a moment?
Sure, of course.
So the head is I, and the heart is self. And the true self is sleeping, dormant, and unawakened. So people are caught in a situation in which they say, I am difficult with myself. I don't love myself. I control myself. I judge myself. I don't trust myself. I punish myself. And I don't allow myself to dance. I don't allow myself to cry. And I don't allow myself a bathing suit because you gained weight. Poor self. The poor self, who will be happy being not loved, not appreciated, continuously criticized, not even, don't smile, you have not good smile, don't dance, you dance, but don't sing.
But that would be our ego self.
The head is doing this to our heart. So the heart feels so bad that it is crying for help, or getting into depression, or anxiety, or addictions. So the head cannot understand, why is it that I'm not happy? Because happiness is here, is emotional. And the head goes to a shrink to talk about it, and talking to the head, we're going to find a solution for you. We're trying to find out what is wrong with you. And if you will not behave, I'll go to a psychiatrist to give you pills to be less depressed or less problematic. But there is no love inside. When I ask in groups, who can raise your hand? I'm harsh with myself. People raise, I sacrifice myself. I don't love myself. I blame myself. I have high expectations of myself, and I never lose control over myself. So then what I have invented is sitting in once you sit in 3 different chairs, I am able to talk to each one of them separately. Mm-hmm. And I ask the heart, do you respect him, the head? She says, yes. Do you admire him? She says, no. Do you love him? No. Who is older? He is. What he is to you? A policeman, a jailer, a judge. And all the psychological problems we see are emotional, and all the solutions can be inside the system to bring inner love, inner peace, and awakening the higher self.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to, is the higher self, because the higher self is all love and peace, yes, and light.
Yes.
And really it's manifesting your higher self and having that take the lead. How do you see that? Because
it's like the parent, but the parent is sleepy, is not active. Mm-hmm. It is like paralyzed at home, and the 2 kids are running the show. Mm-hmm. You sit in the back seat of the car, and while these 2 are fighting, mm-hmm, who will drive, and you are finding yourself in a bad dream, and you say, how will I get out of this? Because it's not even my life. Awakening the true self into inner leadership, teaching you that you can talk to them, and they will listen to you, and you are the only one who can pacify them, because nothing will. The head never content, restless, comparing, never happy. That's in his nature. It doesn't matter if you are tall or short, slim or fat, rich or poor, or young or old. The head is never satisfied. This is the problem with humanity. And somebody needs to make some order here inside my own house.
I totally agree. I always say that the head is like a computer that's been programmed, and
to negativity.
It's yes,
So
and we need
this.
to reprogram.
But the one who needs to do this must be awakened and be authorized and initiated into it. Listen to this. Bruce Springsteen, after the famous singer, after he's giving a show, he goes back to his room, and he's supposed to be happy because people applaud and he made a lot of money. But his head, you forgot this line, you were too late here. What the heck is wrong with you? Everybody was happy. He's happy, but the head is not happy. And he's zapping in his hotel room, looking for something to watch on TV after the show, because he cannot fall asleep because of the rush. But his head is so negative. I'm Bruce Springsteen. Why you are never satisfied? What is wrong with you? So everybody carries this. And people think, maybe I'll be successful, famous, or rich. But they all have the same annoying
I
head.
totally agree.
But
I want to go back a minute to the meditation. I asked you what kind of meditation.
3 different types of meditations.
Okay, so can you explain?
To the head, we'll give him meditations to focus him, like counting breath, focusing on the breath. The head needs discipline and order and something to anchor into the moment.
Okay.
Emotional meditations, you can visualize, you can, this is guided imagination works here, positive affirmations, and all kinds of sweet listening to music, and even dancing, active meditations are very good.
Okay.
Eventually, to you.
To your higher self.
Just be. Just be letting go. Right
just
now.
Sitting quietly.
And this. Listen, breathe and feel.
But sitting quietly, you have to accept all that is.
Yes.
Your mind, your emotions, your body.
Yes.
All your senses without any judgment.
Yes. That's the higher. This is you.
Yeah.
For many people, this is difficult. So then they need to start with reciting a mantra, counting the breaths, sensations in the body, all kind of emotional stuff. Eventually, you end up with this. And life becomes your meditation.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So you have a school?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I called it Trilotherapy because we have different parts and 3 different logics.
Okay, so do you have different teachers at your school? How does it work?
Yes, in many cities. And I have also...
When you say many cities, where?
In Israel, in 7 different cities. In Canada, I have.
Mm-hmm.
And...
do you also teach through the internet? Or is it only in person?
Not yet.
Okay.
But we have groups and people come and they explore themselves. Because the problem with spirituality, some groups are only head-oriented teachings and studies and theories, never dance, never hug, too serious. Other schools are only emotional.
So you have a range of programs.
Yes.
Okay.
Each meeting is also to the head, also to the heart, and also to the center.
Oh, wonderful. So where in Israel do you have, where are the centers?
In Tel Aviv, in Haifa, in many places, in 7 different cities.
Okay. Is it all in Hebrew?
Yes.
It's all in Hebrew. And in Canada, of course, it's in English.
Yes.
Okay. Anywhere else English speaking?
No, because I'm still not too ambitious. So I do things slowly.
Okay. But you have writings, you have books, right?
Yes, I wrote 10 books.
And you have books in English as well.
Yes.
So tell us about that, since the audience is English speaking.
I have the Eastern Wisdom, the treasure box.
Okay.
The wisdom of the East. I have translated the book of Tao.
Is it sold on Amazon? Or?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
And I wrote a book about writing Chinese.
Writing Chinese.
First 100 letters.
Oh wow. Okay.
Basic.
Yes.
And I have the book of Dharma, which is a Buddhism from the Buddha until today.
Okay. Is it a practical type of guide?
It's only texts.
Texts. Okay.
that I've chosen.
Okay. Texts of the Buddha?
Starting from the Buddha and on the lineage until today.
Oh, interesting.
All the masters.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes.
And do you have books in what other languages?
No, that's all in
Hebrew and in English?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
People are suffering a lot.
Yes, we can see that all over the world. How do you see the end of suffering? Can there be an end of suffering in your mind?
Theoretically, there is. It's not my mind, but what the Buddha said.
Okay.
The Buddha said, here on this beautiful planet, here lives Mara, the god of the abyss, the darkness, the dark god.
Okay.
Not God like a lord, but it's not a person. But this is his house.
The dark energy.
Yes.
Okay.
Was put here on this planet.
Okay.
We are guests here. This planet is not ours. We will come and go. This will stay Mara, his name.
Okay.
Its name. Now, it's not a being. It is a hologram with many, many pieces. And each of us have one piece inside. And this is the piece that never satisfied, always complaining.
But we can always choose light. And we can always resonate light.
This will be the mission. Your mission, which you have accomplished, was to transform this Mara,
the hologram or field. Or we can call it an energetic field.
Embassy within us.
Okay.
Until this mind ego will listen to you, will choose you, so you become your own master. And this is the highest level you can get.
But that's our evolutionary process.
Hopefully, most people are... The whole idea is that people are not free. If everyone will conquer their Mara representative.
Exactly.
Poof.
That's the end of suffering.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we all need to work on and hope for.
But no one succeeded, not the Buddha, not Jesus, not Moses.
Not yet.
And not Muhammad.
Not yet.
So we don't have any Messiah.
But you know, in Judaism, they say the Messiah will come. What do they say in Buddhism?
They said, because this planet is the abode of the dark energy, the Buddha said, I will only help you to shorten your stay here, samsara, and go into nirvana. And he never talked about how to eliminate this energy because it has value. It is not here by mistake. And that's its home. So heaven and hell
is here. It's within us and it's around us.
And yes, mostly hell.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still hopeful that we'll transform that. I think the more people that transform it within themselves, that's how we can have a collective.
That's the way. The more people are succeeding, and now we see definitely a wonderful evolution but the more Mara is upset. And
they're not giving up the fight, but
nobody wants to die.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it's energies, conflicting energies.
Yes.
But I believe the light in the end will always win.
The light is stronger than the darkness.
So that's what we all need to...
But in this,
have our own intention.
And remember.
Yes. To remember the light within us, and to have an intention to spread that right light and resonate it.
Because the light did put darkness here. And the reason, according to the Buddha, there is a certain amount of suffering of darkness, like everything else. So if you put it here, it is not there. So to clean the galaxy, They put all this misery here.
Well, that's why if we cleanse it here, we're really cleansing everything.
The galaxy.
Exactly. Just like we say when we cleanse ourselves, we're giving service to our collective, because each one who cleanses themselves are really a part of the collective, because we all have a piece. Like you said, we all have a piece.
Yes.
So we're all part of the whole.
Yes, and yet the Buddha said you can only help to those who have little dust over their eyes.
Well, I think you can only help those who want to help themselves. You can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped or doesn't even know that they need help.
So most people, this is why they don't go for spirituality. But if I go into psychology and help people, then they come not because of the yearning to find light and darkness, because they are chewing their teeth at night,
right.
Because they have inflammation in their stomach, because they have bad relationships with the kids. So this is where we need to get them. And then they found out about this. So
I agree. So how do you call your school? What is the name of your school?
Trilotherapy.
Trilotherapy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So trilo, so that's like the 3 types of therapy. Okay.
Different.
So when someone comes into studies, a course, how long would somebody come in
2
and
years
study?
it takes.
2 years. So people who want to learn, they have to come for 2 years, or there's shorter classes as well? 1 year. So it's really for serious people.
It takes time.
Okay.
There's nothing we can do about it. It takes time.
So it's not because a lot of spiritual teachers have, either lectures or a workshop for a weekend, or do you do things like that, or is it only 1 or 2? You do that as well?
But
okay.
It takes time. We need to respect time.
I agree with you that it takes time, but a lot of people, you have to have the foot in the door before they're ready to commit for a year or 2 years. So you do have the lectures, the workshops.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to get a taste and see what you're talking about, what is an event according to you?
A lecture. Sometimes we have weekends where I take groups abroad to the east. But even after a week in a monastery, still, it takes time. It's like you need to have a cake. You want to have a cake, you need a product, you need an oven, you need electricity, plus you need time.
Right.
Because even if you have all the ingredients, and you have the oven, and you have everything, still you have just a blend with something sticky inside. It takes time to make a cake. And everybody should know. Give it time.
You also have a program here at Essence of Life Radio.
With you, yes. In York.
Tell me about it.
We do 15 minutes in the morning for people to
wake up
and open up, because I always insist that you can choose your thoughts. You need to take responsibility. Imagine this. This is a building, and on the upper floor of the building, there is a radio station, and they're transmitting continuously from the morning when I wake up until at night. I have this broadcasting going on continuously. Who is the owner of the building?
I just wrote 2 posts about a building. Yes, okay.
I'm the owner.
Okay.
Who is the audience? I am. Who is the sponsor of this building? Utilities, cleaning, and I am. As the owner, as the audience, and as the sponsor, do I have right to ask about the broadcasts? Does it help me? No. The guy inside my head is broadcasting. He doesn't listen to me. Situation is so bad, people go to psychologists, psychiatrists, and tell him, give him pills to be more positive. Give him pills to be less stressed. Give him pills to knock him down at night because I cannot fall asleep. People are suffering from the station up there. And what we need to do is go up there to this studio, smash this glass, and go there and take the microphone. And you need to start the revolution. And you say, life is beautiful. Everything is all right. It's okay to enjoy. And you become Unless you take the microphone, somebody else will.
I totally agree. I always say, though, that first people should observe. I always say, like I said before, it's like a computer where there's words running, but understand that it's not you, or a radio station where you see the waves, and it's just on there. It's just noise. But you have to, I think, first observe, be aware of it, and then you can start taking control.
First week in monastery, sitting facing the wall. No phone, no books, no nothing.
Right.
And you hear the chatter in your mind. And then you are not your mind.
Mm-hmm. Your mind is blah, 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 blah.
And don't trust your mind, because it will take you to
definitely
to places that you need to gain. It's your ship. You are the boss. This is the awakening. And it's the most important. People think that a lot of money will help them, or something, success.
Something outside themselves.
No. It must be you.
I totally agree. So that's why I always say peace begins within me.
Exactly. This is your sentence. Listen, who says, השלום מתחיל בתוכי, inside?
Yes.
Shari Arison. This is it. You brought it to Israel.
Yes.
Yes.
So on that note, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you here. And continue helping people make that transformation.
And you too are doing wonderful, wonderful work.
Thank you.
And it's miraculous, like your life, how it came to be like this. So we all would like to thank you very much.
Thank you.